Welcome to the final program lesson of the missing link. It's been a pleasure to guide you through this exciting methodology, and I can't wait to see how far you go as we continue working together in the group discussions. The closing call is finally our opportunity to sell our prospect on our value as a partner. While we may have sold them on the need for change and on the best solution to make that change, it's likely that they still have options ranging from competing firms to just handling things internally. So demonstrating that you can offer the most value is crucial. The best way to do that consists of showing up to the closing call with a complete understanding of your competitive strengths and weaknesses related to this opportunity. You need to be prepared for any objections they may have working with you, but you also need to be ready to demonstrate the reasons you're the best choice overall. Walk through a simple slide deck proposal that focuses on results you've generated. This isn't a time to pull up a 30-page Word document that's full of 11-point text. Create a visual, simple, bullet and call-out based slide deck that covers your solution at a high level. The human mind can only hold about a half dozen concepts in its RAM, or random access memory, essentially front of mind, at any given time. So you don't want to overload your prospect with details. Check out our sample proposal presentation in the lesson resources for an example of one approach. It's unlikely that anyone will care to sit through bios, history, methodologies, or company profiles during this call, even though those things certainly have a place in your marketing. During this call, focus on simple key metrics that demonstrate the clear, data-driven value of your relationships. Include in your proposal short customer quotes, but not long testimonials, major awards, and recognizable client names or logos. But don't read these things aloud during your call. The prospect should just notice them as you click through and pause on those pages or slides while you're speaking. And don't overdo it on the accolades. The idea is just to make it clear that you're not running a scam and that some other smart people must think you're pretty smart. That's called social proof. And then let your results do the heavy lifting. Ask for the business. Once you've completed your presentation, the value proposition should be clear to the prospect. The only thing that's still missing is a strong call to action. That is, you need to ask the prospect to move forward. An effective method for doing this, and one that helps wrap up the 3-sale concept, is called the inoffensive close. The inoffensive close helps you either close the deal or expose any objections the prospect may have. Here's the format. For sale 1, do you feel that I have an accurate understanding of your goals and that a significant change to your current approach, like this, is critical to reaching those goals? You could then summarize a review so that you get these goals, the gap, and the importance of the change into your prospect's RAM again. Something like, losing your number 1 market position would be a major hit to your marketing effectiveness, but your current approach doesn't get you the 50 net new customers per month that you really need. So it's either find a better approach or risk the business, right? When you have agreement from the prospect on that point, validate congruence on sale 2. Do you feel like the solution we've outlined will help you achieve that goal and overcome your challenges? Again, get that solution back into the RAM by covering the basics. Our plan gets you above 50 net new customers per month by August, and even considering the required investment, reduces your cost per customer by about 70%, boosting the ROI of your existing Google ad campaigns by over 300%. And when you're in agreement on that, ask for the business. Would you like our help in getting started now? If any of these results in a no, it means you didn't successfully close the corresponding sale, that they need to make a change, that your proposed solution is the best one, or that you're the right provider to make it happen. You can easily tell which one or ones based on the reason the prospect gives. Let's outline some common objections. We're going to hold off until Q4. Now on the surface, this indicates that you haven't actually sold them on the importance of making the change. So that's a failure in closing sale 1. Our Google Ads agency said that they can make changes to our campaigns that they say should get us above 50 net new customers per month. Okay, here they're going with a completely different solution than what you proposed, so you've come up short on sale 2. Our CEO's son is studying web design in college and is going to try to make these updates for us at no cost. That sounds like they're cool with the solution, but they don't see more value in paying you for the work than they do in letting an inexperienced student take a stab at it. That's a failure of sale 3. We've decided to work with a local firm instead. Again, this is a failure on sale 3. We're making some changes to our business model and need to table this initiative completely. Now, maybe they really did just decide to modify their business in a way that wipes away their stated goals, but it's likely that you actually came up short on all 3 sales. So let's talk about how to handle these situations, and be sure to pitch your objection handling approaches in the comments or discussions. There's more than one way to address these scenarios, and it's always fun to gather creative perspectives. The number 1 rule in handling objections: pick up the phone. Of course, this assumes that you're not already on the phone with a prospect or meeting face-to-face, but in those situations when you're notified by email, text, or voicemail, resist the temptation to shoot off an email. Your best approach is a discussion, and that's too tricky to facilitate via email. Before picking up the phone, though, keep a few things in mind. First, remain confident. Not only is it better for your mental well-being, but a lack of frustration, emotion, or desperation in your response will tell the prospect that you actually must have a pretty good thing going, and that might make them second-guess their decision, whether that happens immediately or even down the road. Regardless of the outcome, don't burn the bridge. If you're like us, you've had many instances where an initial reaction turned into a later purchase. In my case, it's typically due to the selected vendor under-delivering. To maximize the chances of that scenario happening, eliminate likelihood of shame by telling the prospect that sometimes things don't go as well as they might hope, and that you'd love the opportunity to help out if their selected partner happens to come up short. No hard feelings. Give them the ability to feel good about coming back later. When you do hear an objection, follow the acknowledge, explore, advise format. Acknowledge to make it clear that you've truly heard the prospect's objection and that you understand its meaning. Explore to discover the true issue, which frequently lies below the surface. And advise only after you've fully understood the objection and the underlying driver. Acknowledge, explore, advise essentially repeats the general sales process, but in a miniature format. Let's walk through a sample scenario. We appreciate all the time and thought you put into your proposal, but we've decided to work with our existing partner because they're building the services into our existing contract, so we won't need to spend more. Okay, first we acknowledge. I totally understand and I appreciate you letting me know. Next, we explore. Can I ask a bit more about what led to your decision? Well, your proposed solution was right on the mark, but since our current firm can make the same changes with no additional costs for us, it definitely seems like an opportunity we should take advantage of. Since we're behind on our sales targets, budgets are tight, and this will certainly help out. Next, we re-identify the gap. Yeah, I'm with you there. Now, when we were exploring your initial frustrations, you felt like your current firm wasn't experienced with your industry, and that was one of the causes behind them missing your targets. Do you still have that concern? Well, I do still have my doubts, but since it saves us on cash flow up front, we feel like it's worth a try to see what they can do with some changes. All right, now that we have more insight, we can advise. The costs are definitely an important factor, and I probably underestimated its importance by focusing too much on the potential ROI. If we added email retargeting to our scope, it would increase our monthly fees by $1,200, but could convert an additional 20% of lost visitors into leads. That would allow you to reduce your monthly Google Ads spend by about $4,000, while still hitting your sales targets. If we could reduce your total monthly budget by $2,800 through something like that, would it affect your decision? In a nutshell, acknowledge, explore, advise reduces defensiveness and tension while maximizing the likelihood of preserving the deal. The key is to dig back into the underlying drivers and identify the disconnect that led to the decision. And guess what? This marks the end of the program lessons. I highly encourage you to just jump immediately over to the final short video, which just wraps things up with some important final thoughts and next steps. I'll save my thank yous and congratulations for there.